5, 6, 7. So that's going to be... What's hard about building a car that has no body? Well, literally everything.
Whether it's the cooling system, the wheels and tires, the engine, the suspension, it all has to fit within the body, which we haven't fully designed yet.
We're building a supercar based on 1960 legends like the GT40 and Lamborghini Miura.
Last week, we tied our rear suspension together, got it on the ground, and now we need to tie it together at the front and start with safety and chassis, our roll bar.
And we're definitely not gonna make any mistakes. This is gonna go very smoothly because we're good like that. We're getting ready to go running. Let's go grab our blindfolds.
We gotta get some more junk out of the way, like this secondary air pump and that air cleaner. It's stuck. I just broke that, I think. Yay. Why didn't we do this when the engine was out? Yeah, more junk out of the way. Now we gotta get this off.
There's now less junk in the trunk.
If we're gonna put a roll bar in the car, we gotta take the old roll bar out of the car. So let's get to that.
Logic would dictate that.
Yeah, 2 roll bars cannot occupy the same space at the same time.
Tony Miller, 2023. Wit.
Oh man, it's a different car now.
Really?
In my way. Did this all wrong.
You're right there, Tony.
No. All right, now we got all that stuff out of the way. We can build a roll bar.
Up and now it's no longer in the way.
It's on the dudes.
Oh wait. Help. Help. How many dudes does it take to take a door off the Boxster?
Depends.
Like I need to do a thing where like, well, it's cut across. I say you do like the thing going inside. We need to get our Porsche 911 slant nose ready for a car show that's only in a couple weeks. And of course we have a lot of things we want to get done to get it show ready. Now there are many parts in this car that we custom made, and some of them we don't have the tooling in-house to make appropriately. One being the hood crest. The hood crest on the car currently is 3D printed, which works in a pinch. However, the quality there is lacking and it's not gonna last a super long time in the sun. And that's where Fictive steps in. This hood crest has been CNC machined through Fictive, which is a very easy and simple process. You just go online, upload your 3D file, and then you can get an instant quote for how much it'll cost and how quickly they can ship it back to you. They did such a good job machining this part that even the OEM rubber seal for the hood crest of the Porsche emblem itself fits our design. So if you're looking to have a part made and you don't have the tooling yourself at home, Fictive is the answer for you. Click the link in the description down below for more information. And thanks to Fictive for sponsoring this video. A little more precisely because we want to fit.
We need something to locate it.
Yeah. Well, I guess we don't have to go the whole, yeah,
No.
we need to go down far enough to get to there though.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna like,
Make some room.
make some room here. So what we're doing here is making a cardboard template for the main hoop of our roll bar. This will save us some time, I think. And we'll be able to then lay it down on the ground and get our angles for all the bends, because tubing is expensive. And if we mess up those bends, it's gonna mess up
Cost money.
me, because Tony's gonna slap me or something.
Yeah.
Every dollar wasted is like a slap, I think. Oh man, I'd be dead. I don't know how I need to go right now. Just enough that we can get time lapse. It's not a wide shot.
It's more like the Leia message for help. Yeah, it's getting a little...
We need the outline of the original roll bar to go off of first, so we have a good idea where it started at. Bar can
Reference.
go away again.
Yeah.
What should we do with this? Maybe we want to buy a roll bar. All right, so this is the profile of the original Boxster roll bar. And we're gonna go a little bit above that, like 25 millimeters, you think? Because we want this roll hoop to actually be like SCCA approved, or in spec anyway. So if we ever do track this, we didn't waste much time. Cardboard that bends. You good?
I'm right on the line.
So it's 1/13 to the stud.
Okay.
Sorry, 1,130.
But okay, right. So did we get it? We didn't get a square, did we?
No, we need to get a good square.
Yeah.
Someone send us a good square.
A framing
please.
square.
A framing square.
Like a large square.
A really big one.
Yeah. But all right, so then we got to get square off of that. We'll just do the 3, 4, 5, right?
3, 4, 5. What's the 3, 4, 5?
It's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Any right triangle.
Yep.
If one side is 3 and the other side is 4, the hypotenuse is 5.
Okay.
So you can do that in any multiple. That's square. Draw that line. And we got a square line to measure off of and whatnot. There we go. Boom.
Boom. I learned something new today. 3, 4, 5.
3, 4, 5.
That's C for center.
There we go.
Not M for middle this time.
So there's our center. There's the studs. There's the square line. Now we got some stuff going on.
Taking naps on cardboard.
Okay.
So if we have 1.75 inch tubing,
right.
3/4 inch is center. No.
Nope.
7/8.
Yep. We need to find, like you said, the top, and we can, center of the top tube is easy from there. And we also need to figure out where our tube is going to be here. I want a little piece of tubing to stick in there, but I mean, the tube is going to take up most of this space. That is right there, the center line of that tube. All right, so we've got our cardboard up here for a template, and we started laying out where we thought we wanted it to be. Started with our upright, knew we wanted to come to here. That's all safety things. Then we were trying to figure out what we wanted this line to be. Yep. So I'm here with tape, and Ryan's there telling me, oh, in a little bit, out a little bit. We got right there, we laid it out, looked at it from a couple different angles. It all looked pretty good. And then we look, and we're pretty much right in line with where the outside of the factory roll bar was.
Yep. Which means that we're definitely good.
Yeah, we're right at, yep, our line of thinking was right in line with Porsche's, except we didn't do the little double hump thing in the middle.
Yeah, so we have this length of tube here for the center roll bar, which, as we've said, like we get one shot with because we think it's long enough, but before we start bending and we find out it's not long enough, because the roll hoop has to be one continuous bend, like piece of tube, otherwise it's not safe. We can do some calculations to actually find out if it's gonna be long enough. Because whenever you do a bend, you have bend consumption, and there's math behind that. For example, we're doing a 6-inch radius bend off the center line. That consumes 0.105 inches per degree. So we can use that plus the length of the tube and kind of figure out if we have enough space for this. Okay, we are at 3,280 millimeters. So let's center that.
1640.
1640, yeah.
3,000, wait, yeah.
3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
3280.
Yep.
Half of 32 is 16. Half of 80 is 40, 1640.
Yeah, can you mark that on the tube for me? You used the wrong side of the marker.
This is a finer tip for much more accurate measuring.
All right. Can you put a C on that so we know it's center? Or an M for middle. We're looking for. Yeah! Yeah! That's my style right there.
It's a W the way you're looking at it.
W for Wombo. That's the bend start right there, right? And then we have 70 degrees. So what's 70 times 0.105?
7.35.
So that's the bend right here.
Okay.
That's 70 degrees.
All right.
Right there, right?
Yep.
It's flat. That should be the bend. That's all it should consume. And then we have this length right here, right? I don't know when this bend starts technically.
Here. All right, hold on. Just on the next bend.
Yeah. Just
write 47.
So that's gonna be 245. This is getting bent 17.5 degrees. And then we have our leg. Yeah, we have enough.
Why is it 17.5?
I'll fight you all. So we have a leg of like 870 millimeters here, and this is roughly way less than that. I don't know where this bend ends, but it's showing me 420, 440, something like that. So we're plenty good.
Okay, plenty good.
As long as we do our bends right.
Right, as long as we don't mess up, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Bendy one.
That's the information I need.
Did somebody say bendy one?
Bend offset, that's what it's called.
That's why I'm bendy one.
I have a marker light on the floor, so I'll let it roll it all. When we put it in the bender, we don't accidentally twist and rotate and mess up our bends and have it look like a pretzel. All right, so our bend, 70-degree bend, starts right here, right? I rotate this around to the line because our center line's here. Now, when I put it in the bender, there's a bend offset that I have to calculate so that the bend starts where it's marked on here and not a guesstimate. So with this block and that, it's 6 inches. So if I have marked 6 inches on here already, it's right here. Block goes up to there. I'm gonna line up my center line here with the line on the block so I know it's level. I'm gonna clamp it down. Then we bend the 70 degrees. It should be right. Electric one. Talk about it yet. This is a bender by Rogue Fabrication. It's, I think it's our M600 bender. It's capable of pretty significant bends at a pretty affordable price. The link's in the description down below for more information on this tool. So now we're gonna bend it 70 degrees, and then we're gonna let spring back and see what it actually ends up being, and then compensate for that. Because there's spring back when you rebend tubing, and we'll get to that when we get there, because it's fun. We determined that spring back was 2 degrees because it came 2 degrees shy. So now we're gonna overbend by 2 degrees, and it should be exactly 70.
Should be.
Should be.
70.
69.7.
There we go.
I think that's close enough.
Yep.
We did it.
All right.
We successfully calculated spring back, and it didn't backfire for once. It's funny because spring back. Now let's flip it to the other side.
Measure 7/8 off of center, and then put the pipe right on that.
It's so hard to tell. I think it's good enough. Pat's the cat's pajamas. Pop the leader open.
You're way too far.
You're too far.
So.
We did it! Woo! That was all twisted there. Our mathed, I think.
All right.
Yeah, because like look
I hope it did.
the bend lined up.
See. Yeah.
The,
Does look narrow at the top. It does look narrow at the top.
All right, so the way this machine works is you have these blocks, you clamp on the tube to like locate your bend, and then you put it in the machine and bend it. Well, we're having an issue where the block wants to slide a little bit, which throws our bend off. We noticed in the second bend here, you can kind of see like it started here and then went back to there. I don't know if you can see the video well or not, but it's kind of galled up into the metal. So we went back and looked at the first bend, which we were wondering why we were a little bit off in our location of the bend. It's because it did the same thing here too. Started and slid off of its seat. It moved its feet and lost its seat.
Because of that, this is now narrower at the top than we had figured on. Now that was, you know, an eyeball design with tape on cardboard. And so we're going to continue. We'll make this line up where it's supposed to on the car and put it up there and see whether or not we're going to use it or go back to the drawing board.
Because what happens here is...
Or really the bending board, because the drawing part we already did, yeah.
That's painful. But see what happens here anyway is we decide that we don't like these bends. This is kind of scrap. So we might as well attempt. It's expensive, so we should probably still attempt.
Yeah, time's expensive too, but yeah, let's put our other 2 bends in and see where we come out.
That the tape measure lifts it off.
Right.
That's more fine.
I mean, right about there.
Smell weird?
Yeah. Right about.
Sorry, I'm making this very difficult.
Yeah, why don't you come here with your marker and mark this, and then you can get back to that right there.
I'm too busy being generally false. 5, 6, 760.
So we laid the original roll bar on here. We lined it up exactly as it would be in the car. So bottom and the center of the stud. And we checked out where this roll bar is in relation to the original roll bar. And we're within a couple of millimeters on this corner, higher here, which is what we intended. So I think we're gonna be okay as we move forward.
I'm still unsure, but hopeful.
Well, I mean, this is gonna be here. So from that aspect, we're okay.
I was trying to be dramatic for the internet. This is what we discussed.
That's true. This is not what we discussed.
It's pretty close.
Yeah. You get down there and work that.
I guess that works a lot easier than the alternative. Would you just look at that? That actually lines up really good. Go towards you a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I was right in the circle that we drew. Right. We didn't build it to roll it.
Yeah, the hope is to actually not have to use
Ever use it? Yeah.
This is for bracing. You want to look at it? Here.
All right, so we got our roll bar bent and cut, and it came out exactly like we had designed. And
We hate it.
Yeah, we don't like it.
I hate it so much.
It looks right in a Boxster, but in the end, this isn't going to have a convertible top or any kind of Boxster roofline, and it's just going to be too dinky for this car.
Yeah. It's funny you say dinky too, because this is 1 3/4 tubing. We found out that we can actually go with 1.5 tubing because of the sidewall we have is way thick enough for that.
Yeah, by found out, we just, read the rules.
You read the rules. So we can actually shave some weight here by redoing it too with a smaller diameter tubing.
Yep.
So it's kind of a win-win overall, but we need to
Win-win lose.
Yeah, still lose.
Yeah, we still lost them.
We still have this roll bar that we can do nothing with now, unless somebody
Yeah.
wants one for a Boxster with a working convertible top. Which,
Yeah.
I mean-
No, it won't work for that either, because it doesn't have the stuff that you need attached here.
well, we could attach the things. True. Regardless, waste of time. However, we got some more bending practice, so that's a win, right?
Right, yeah.
We don't do
Yeah.
a ton of tubing bending here, so
All right, so now we're
Round
moving
two.
on. Yeah, moving on to the new plan. And the new plan involves using this car for our template. We knew from the beginning we weren't going to change the windshield on Jigsaw, and this windshield is the same. That being the starting point, the outside dimensions of the roof are not going to be very far from this, and so we can use the inside dimensions of this car as a guide for the roll bar for Jigsaw.
So the plan is to put the seats forward and take some cardboard and trace the inside, like a cut through the car, in the same place as the B-pillar that we'd be using on the Jigsaw car, and lay that over top of our other template and come up with a solution that fits somewhere between that. Because a big concern is that we want to keep the bars as close to the pillars as possible so they're not like intrusive inside the design of the interior of the car, and if you look through the windows, they're not like, oh, that's an ugly cage. We want it to look nice. So we're gonna do that.
It's stronger than it ever was. It will be when it's done.
Oh, get me out of here. It says 101.4, so 101.
And it should be 79,
79, yeah.
which is correct.
How do you know it's correct?
Well, it adds up to 180.
It's good gross.
Soggy.
Oh, no. He starts telling his stories, you smack him.
Oh, please, my stories are what makes everything interesting.
Man. That's what I was afraid of.
What? What were you afraid of?
Maybe it will fit. It's gonna be tight. Well, this is gonna come out.
That's what I said. This comes out.
Yeah, we gotta take it out.
Let's take this stuff. This can come off. This can come out. What? The Sawzall. There's just a bolt right there that takes it out.
But the Sawzall takes it out too.
Sawzall's about to take you out.
All right, before we do anything, we gotta clean this tube off really good.
Okay. Well, actually.
You know what?
Ba-dum, 9 feet, like exactly. All right, and then add consumption.
I feel like you're pretty close. Rotate. Slide it in like from the top because of the, yeah. Oh yeah.
Look at that, buddy.
That is much better.
I like it.
Just sitting against the bulkhead, like this.
Is it? No. Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. But it's centering itself, so that works.
Right. Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yep.
We're gonna gusset it to that probably anyway.
Probably.
Let's get the angle, I guess, to drop it back. Can you get the magnetic one thingy, and we'll put it on the rocker then. This and find.
Blah blah blah. Where is it?
It's on the side of the.
Here. Much better.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
Yeah.
This flows a lot nicer. We didn't want to do the whole like bend it out then bend back in thing because of strength reasons, but screw it.
It's going to be plenty strong, and yeah, that's what we needed.
It looks so much better. Now we can make some base plates to weld it to the body before we make some braces. I guess we should do that first, right?
Yep.
Because this is the angle it's going to be at, about 10 degrees raked back. So we want to lock that in before making braces to tie the suspension. Once it's tied to the suspension, we can cut some more junk out this car we don't need.
That's all you care about.
That's exactly all I care about. But it's gonna look so cool. You can see the full tire and stuff. Yep. We don't need that. We don't need this. This is doing nothing once we have that in.
Well, I was gonna say it's not doing nothing now, but in the
it will be doing nothing.
Future Jigsaw, that does nothing.
That's future me on Saturday morning. So when you put a roll cage or a roll bar into a car that you're welding in, and even if you're bolting in, you need to have a base plate to kind of like spread out the load for the roll bar itself. So what I'm doing here is I'm drawing up a base plate that I'll just kind of socket in where the OEM one went. It'll get bolted, but then also welded to the chassis too. The bolts really are just to kind of locate it so it's solid in. Since the OEM one was just bolted and that was fine, we'll go a little extra and weld it too. So now I'm gonna transfer this into CAD on the computer, then we'll cut it out on the arc droid, and then we'll have 2 of them. Easy peasy. Yeah, that came out pretty good. Look at that. So my plates are made and prepped, and we have them located on these studs. So now I can get this located on the plates. We gotta get the right rake. We're going for about 10 degrees here. Once I get my right rake here, we're gonna tack it in and pull it back off. The old tack and pull. Now we gotta check the angle of the dangle here. Ooh! Alright. See how it fits now. Woo! Sockets right in.
Yeah. Just like it was made for it.
It better be, because version 2.0 is better than 1.0.
That's kind of why you do 2.0.
It's pretty warm down here.
Yeah, I know.
Look at that.
There it is.
It flexes because it's just bolted down, but.
Right, and yeah.
But you'll notice it flexes because it's floating and not rubbing against everything, which is what we wanted.
It is just the right amount of closeness.
So the main hoop's welded in. Now we got to figure out the supporting tubes that we want to also support the rear suspension. It's all going to be tied together in a nice uniform fashion. So the idea is to try to come up with a way to run this cross tube from somewhere on here to the corner way back here while also hitting against the strut tower there. We just got to find the right angle and how we're going to tie it in.
Yep. I think that's what, I mean, no matter what, we got to add a plate there. Even if we want to fish mouth it into here, we got no way to get
That's fine.
tie in there. So we're going to have to add a plate there. It's a matter of whether or not we come in and fish mouth into this corner, which is probably the best. That tube to there is more important than the one that goes across.
What are you pointing at exactly? He's just pointing from back here. I don't know what you're pointing at.
Our green line tube needs to be made before we worry about our tube across.
I thought you were saying that we need another tube in between.
No. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our next tube.
Yep.
I was talking about as opposed to this one going across. That I'm not worried about right now. Would be right. It's not a roll. Well, it's a roll bar, not a roll cage.
Yeah, a roll cage.
So you could bring it from there back to this corner or whatever, but that should be a straight tube. Now that we've got our top tube in, we've added our extra racing stripes.
That's for speed.
Yeah, they're for
speed.
speed.
These are speed lines.
Speed stripes.
Doing. No, these are false. We're not using these. These are false, just like me.
All right. What'd I do with you?
You just derailed it.
They're not false. We still have this one. Fortunately, Ryan, you just stay over there. We're trying to determine where we wanted to put these tubes, and structurally we knew that this was the strongest way and the ideal way we would like to do it. As far as reinforcing that, connecting in here, and also giving us a place to tie in our upper strut mounts, shock towers. But we wanted to consider where the body might or might not be, and whether or not our tubes would get in the way of any of that, either aesthetically or functionally.
There's a lot of variables coming into play into deciding these two tubes.
Yep.
That we don't want to pigeonhole ourselves.
We decided it had to be somewhere between about where this tape line is and where this tape line is, and we have come to the conclusion that it's basically where this tape line is.
These are the optimal.
Yeah.
This is what we're gonna do. So the plan here is to take tube, cope that end, run it down to here where we're gonna fish mouth it in, but we're gonna also have to extend the plate to mount to weld it to. And then as it goes through here, you notice this is the center line of the tube. We're gonna have to notch into the actual strut tower top to weld it to that for support.
And not have to. I really want to. Like that's really going to help tie this in. So we're,
this brings the whole room together.
Yep. It's the feng shui of roll cage.
Tony, what's that on your wrist? It's weird because people keep commenting about it, but don't tell them. So you should tell the people what's on your wrist.
Well, indeed, they identified it as being from Kenya. So yes, I have a lot of friends in Kenya, Ngong, Kenya, near Nairobi, at the By Grace Home for Children. And I was there a couple of months ago, and that's when I got this.
Pretty sweet.
It is, actually. It doesn't really come off. Like there was like a process to get it on, and it's not really made.
You're committed now.
I'm committed, yes.
So you can kind of see what we're going for the support tube. It's going to require a lot of very difficult coping.
Yep.
That's going to be really intricate. And not only that, we also need some more bracing to go alongside that to make sure this can sit on suspension safely, because we're going to be cutting out the strut tower that is holding up the back of the car.
So we're going to do that next, but not now.
Because we're out of time for this week.
Yep. We made 2 roll bars, and that took a little extra time.
It's just one of those things that you'll have in these bigger jobs, unfortunately.
Yep. Especially a bigger job when you're trying to make a roll bar for a car that doesn't have a body.
Yeah, a car we're making up as we go, too.
Yep.
That's hip-hop. So anyway, we'll catch you guys next week. We're working on Jigsaw again and making some more progress, and hopefully not redoing the same progress. Later.
That's not progress.